Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The scheme of Alex, Sarah's ascent, and John's penalty. Days in Our Lives according to Monday, March 25th. Spoilers: Robert Scott Wilson's character Alex Kyriakis is still plotting with Kristen DiMera. What are these two planning to do next? Sarah Horton is willing to distance herself from Konstantin Meliunis, provided Maggie Kyriakis is pleased. Konstantin won't give up and leave John Black alone himself. Days in Our Lives according to Spoilers, Alex is still interested in Teresa Donovan, much as Kristen is still interested in Brady Black. Together, Alex and Kristen worked to keep Tate Black and his legal troubles apart while they continued to grow in love. Alex is using Teresa's addiction as an excuse for not caring enough about her to propose marriage. Brady is averse to Kristen and the way she has polarized their daughter against him. Naturally, these two will need to devise a new plan of action. Will they try to get Brady and Teresa together instead? Though Sarah may not be fond of Konstantin, her mother is becoming increasingly close to him. Thus she will grant him her unqualified permission. Although he's not exactly a front-runner for Father of the Year, if the guy makes Maggie happy in the here and now, who is Sarah to argue against that? Sarah is willing to welcome him as her mother's houseguest, but no more. Xander Cook's lack of elegance could be attributed to his hatred of Konstantin. Naturally, if it becomes out that he and Teresa tampered with Victor's documents, Konstantin might end up homeless. Maggie loves Xander so much that she will take offense at anyone who treats him badly, especially after she finds out he is Victor's son. Konstantin has no intention of genuinely pardoning John for his alleged part in the passing of his daughter. But neither John nor Steve appear to recall anything about those times. Now that he holds the card to make John the pawn, Konstantin is unconcerned. What would John be told to do by Konstantin? Since Konstantin's daughter is currently outside of the United States, he can scarcely expect John to murder her in retaliation. But John might harm Marlena or another loved one because of Konstantin. When will Konstantin stop attempting to con John into paying for something that he may not have even done? Editors have independently selected all of the goods and services that are listed. On the other hand, Soaps.com might get paid a commission for orders made through its retail links, and the retailer might get some data that can be audited for bookkeeping purposes. Over the last 6 months on Days of Our Lives, Nicole has gone through a lot. Even while Holly's coma has contributed significantly to the stress, Nicole's loss of her unborn child to Sloane has also played a significant role. As Jude's christening approaches, fans have been waiting a long time for her to reveal the truth, that Eric and Sloane are raising her baby instead of killing him. However, it appears as though the revelation is finally going to happen. In the grand scheme of soap operas and Days of Our Lives, which has aired for almost 60 years, the truth about Jude hasn't actually been revealed to Nicole for a very long time. Thus, perhaps the program ought to refrain from returning Nicole's child to her. Not for a while, however. For a few years, let Eric and Sloane raise little Jude while putting off the return. We are aware that just reading that has probably infuriated some people. Supporters want Nicole's baby back right away. Given that Ariane Zucker will shortly be stepping down from the position, that is even more accurate. Nobody can really blame her for wanting to see such a significant chapter in Nicole's life through to the end, but once upon a time, soap operas dared to do more than just spin through plots quickly. However, since they have strayed from that, audiences have grown accustomed to expecting stories to conclude on schedule. The public has been outraged for months. How could they continue to treat Nicole in this way? The problem is, as long as Philip Spaulding's true lineage is revealed on Guiding Light, there isn't much of an appetite to pull out revelations. And do you recall the son of Nina from The Young and the Restless? Born in 1986, Ronan was abducted as a baby, and his whereabouts were unknown until he returned as an adult 24 years later, in 2010. Let's discuss about taking the long view. Yes, there are unquestionably benefits to keeping the shows and their plots going quickly. However, failing to find a solution in a month or two does not equate to circling and squandering time on fluff. The tale should just go on, please, instead of tease us with endless almost reveals and recapitulating what happened till we're all sick to our stomachs. After Nicole came to terms with losing her child, Sloane would gradually adjust to motherhood, and she and Eric would raise Jude as if he were their own. Perhaps one day they might get a divorce, but by then Sloane would be too late to speak up. She refused to tell anyone the truth, even after they split up. Just picture the outcome if Nicole and Eric reconciled following their breakup. They might rekindle their romance, get married again, and Nicole would become Jude's stepmother. And it would be the ideal opportunity for the truth to be revealed. It wouldn't have to go as long as Philip's story on Guiding Light when he was placed in the care of Aunt Jackie and Uncle Justin, who he would discover were actually his true parents years later. Even yet, if it occurred when Jude was old enough to recognize Sloane as his mommy and had to come to terms with Nicole being his real mother, it could still set up a wealth of sadness that might be explored for years to come. However, we'll only get Ashley Puzimis and Paul Telfer catching up on the time Xander abducted Holly when she was a baby if he returns as an infant. Even though the players' banter was really funny, Holly's life was not particularly shaped by their story, rather, it was merely a footnote. However, as we stated at the outset, it appears like Jude's baptism may bring about some really shocking disclosures, such as the truth being revealed. The days of using stories to play the long game are almost certainly past, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually occurs. Approaching. Teresa and Brady attempt to make amends with Tate, Wendy suffers a panic episode, and Steve confesses to Constantine. Rafe is waiting with a few questions for Harris when he awakens from his coma. The news that Harris is awake makes Stefan nervous, but Ava is ecstatic. As Stephanie observes, Marlena discusses Everett's past with him. Wendy is hugged by Tripp as she experiences a panic attack. Chad is informed about Bobby by Everett. While Paulina is sleeping, Kayla informs Abe and Chanel of some unsettling news. Johnny pays a visit to Holly. As they watch over Holly, Nicole and EJ develop a close friendship. Kristen and Alex update each other on their connections with Brady and Teresa. Brady and Teresa are hoping to get a chance to patch things up with Tate. Nicole and EJ are overjoyed to see Holly awake. Sarah is defending Xander to EJ, who is listening. Stephanie confides in Chad about her issues with Everett. Steve and Ava are informed about Tripp and Wendy. Tripp and Wendy divert themselves by using their imaginations. Eli and Lonnie return to Salem to see Paulina. Eric gives Sloane a surprise by giving her a Valentine's Day makeover. Stefan receives some lethal commands from Clyde. Tate's parents pay him a visit when he is staying at the halfway home. Holly implores Nicole and EJ to be honest with her about how she became comatose. Steve tells Constantine the truth. Stefan removes Harris by going to the hospital.